every human being innately knows that's not the right thing to do.
All right, man. Slopegate.
There's some rumblings of somebody might have slope on. So we're like, hey, Dave, we just told Joey, like, we think we should do a range finder check. As soon as that happens, Whitney just booked it down to the green. And I was advocating for keep them on the green. Let's go check. Don't let anybody go to their cards. It's as simple as do the next right thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge guest for you today on the Scratch Golf Show. His first interview in years, Tom Bubbie Golf Broders. Good member and just all around great human being. Bubbie joined me for 75 minutes today. We get into everything from sobriety, good, the recent reunion, internet invitational, all of it. You're going to want to watch the entire thing. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Scratch Golf Show. My name is Marco and I'm your host. Here on the Scratch Golf Show, we discuss all things golf, YouTube and professional. That includes news, interviews, discussion topic videos, and we do a live show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. where we talk all things golf. So come hang out sometime. Speaking of, February 4th, we're going to be doing a live show from the Good Desert Open. If you're going to be at Grass Clippings, come hang out for the live show. Very excited to do that. Anyway, like the video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. So hit the button, check. It's free. It really helps me out. Now, without further ado, let's get in today's interview with Bubbie Golf. Thomas Bubbie Broders.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on. I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good, brother. I cannot complain. It's going to be a fun time. We've got a lot of good stuff today. I know you've done some interviews, but I feel like it's been a while since you've done one. So I'm very grateful that you're able to come on here on the Scratch Golf Show to do that interview. And man, I'm very excited. And like I said, thank you so much for your time. Big
of course,
fan,
brother.
So.
I'm excited to do it. I'm excited. I'm a big fan of you. Obviously, I've gotten to meet you a few times in person. You're a great guy. So I'm happy to do it, brother. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. All right, let's start from the very beginning. Where does the name Bubbie come from? How did we get that nickname?
Originally, growing up, my mom would call me Bubbie, but it never stuck. Back home in Chicago, all my buddies would call me Tom, or they call me Broders, just normal stuff. And then finally, it was freshman year mom's weekend in Miami of Ohio. She came to visit, and she was calling me Bubbie. And then around my college buddies, it just happened to stick. And then in 2019, senior year of college, when I was starting an Instagram page, I was kind of thinking of names, going through it. I was thinking of like TB Golf or Tom Golfs or this or that. I'm like, that ain't too original. And then Bubbie Golf came to be, and it looked good and it sounded good. And lucky enough, I'm here now. So I like to think I made the right decision with that.
I think you did, man. And then you ended up joining Good, right?
Yes. Yeah, and that was about 2 years later, or a year and a half, year and 3/4 later.
Let's start there, man. How did you get into Good?
Yeah, so essentially COVID happened. Everybody was playing a bunch of video games, and I had just got done doing the Canteen Challenge on TikTok that really kind of kickstarted everything with my career in the content space in golf. And I posted on my story, seeing if anybody wanted to play Call of Duty, play some Warzone, drop into Verdansk. And Garrett slid up on that story, and I ended up playing. It was me, Garrett Sploosh, and one other guy. And I kid you not, dude, for like 2 months straight, me, Garrett, and Jackson would stay up till 4 a.m, 5 a.m, playing Call of Duty all night. That's all we would do. So I got to know Garrett pretty well over that. And then they had moved on to Dallas. And then I was helping a buddy move down to Dallas. And I just shot Garrett a text like, yo, I'm going to be in town. I was only supposed to be in town for like 36, 48 hours. Would love to link up with you guys and meet you guys. And, excuse me. And he said, of course, swing by the house. So we got in at like 3 a.m. And then later that next afternoon, I stayed at my buddy's apartment who I was helping move in, went over to their crib. And as I was walking in, Garrett and Micah were walking out, going to film a video. I had no golf clubs, no golf shoes, just shorts and a T-shirt, pretty much what I still always wear. And they're like, oh, we're heading out. You want to come film a video with us? I'm like, sure. That sounds fun. I'll go film with you. And we played 5 holes of golf. And you know me. I'm not the best golfer, dog. I'm like a 4.5 handicapper. I ended up shooting 3 under through 5 in this video. And I started out birdie, I'm pretty sure. But the second hole, I hit a drive right, and it went into the stuff. So I had to drop. I was at like 81, 82 yards, took a drop, and I ended up holding out for birdie. First video I ever did with Garrett, Micah, all of them. And yeah, dude, I've never holed out from beyond like 25, 30 yards in my life. And then the first time I'm filming with Garrett, who was and still is the biggest YouTuber in America when it comes to golf content. And I hold out from 81 yards, and obviously that kind of made a statement. I got very lucky, dog. There ain't no other way to say it. Honestly, the only way I say it is it's really just God. Like, I don't believe in coincidence. God has his plan. He made that moment happen for a reason. And that night, they asked me if I wanted to be a part of Good Good. So I literally called my parents the next day, and I told my mom, like, hey, they asked me to be a part of this. I'm going to move into the house. And she's like, what do you mean you're moving into the house? I mean, like, kind of moved. I'm going to just stay at the house with the guys. I'll be home in 2 weeks to pick up my stuff and ship the car down. So from the get go, we just started creating content pretty much every day. I moved into the house, and yeah, the rest is history. It was honestly the way it all came together and everything. It's just God. That's it.
One of my favorite stories, man. I love it. Weren't you sleeping in the theater room? Like, wasn't that the thing for a while when you first moved into the
Yeah,
house?
because obviously I'm the new guy. Like, I just got here. They've been living in this house for like 2 3 weeks already, and I'm not just gonna go claim a bedroom. They were open bedrooms, but I'm like, I'll just stay in the theater room. I'm not gonna like try and act like I'm big anything and go take a room. I'll sleep in the theater room, just go with the flow. And then it was about 2.5 weeks later, Kyle Berkshire, when he was a part of Good Good for like 3.5 4 months, he came in, and the only room open was the master. That's the biggest reason I didn't take a room. I'm like, I'm not just gonna take the master here. I'm the new guy. So me and Kyle ended up being bunkmates in the master bedroom of the first Good Good house for like 4 months.
Cool, man. I love that story, dude. That is awesome. I want to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor of today's video, the AMP Tour. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what the AMP Tour is, they are Florida's ultimate match play battleground, where 64 players will enter, but only one walks away with the $6,000 prize and bragging rights. Every hole becomes a fight. Every match feels like sudden death because of the match play format. The AMP Tour is designed to highlight mini tour players, content creators, and capture some top content in the golf space. They have live scoring. It's meant to feel more like a UFC fight than a traditional golf event, bringing some of the top events to the content world. Like I said, with a 5-figure prize pool, the AMP Tour is the spot to be. Give them a follow on socials or drop them a subscribe on YouTube. That stuff will be in the description. Check out amptourgolf.com to stay up to date on their upcoming events, because they put on an awesome event, and I hopefully will be playing in one soon. I hope to see you at the next AMP Tour event. Like I said, make sure you check all that stuff in the description. Follow, subscribe, and now let's get back to the interview. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Garrett? Like, I feel like out of all the people, like you mentioned, you guys have been close for a long time, but I feel like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just maybe you don't see it on camera as much, or maybe you guys just like, I don't know if you don't hang out, but like, can you talk about your relationship with him and how it's evolved over these few years?
Yeah, I mean, over the course of Good Good, Garrett and I lived together the longest because there was at one point for about a year, there were two Good Good houses, and Steve and Luis stayed in one on one side of the neighborhood, and it was me, Garrett, and Jackson moved into another one on the other side of the neighborhood. And yeah, dude, Garrett and I, we've always had a good relationship. Went to the gym together. Would literally the first like 3 years down there, I swear, me and him had Chipotle 2 to 3 times a day, every day. And I don't know, it was just like the most like it was like the most like just being having fun with your boys kind of vibe. We would play, we'd wake up, film content. If we weren't on a trip and we were back in Texas, it'd be like get up, figure out something to film, go to the gym, and then we play video games all night. We would literally grind Call of Duty. I can't even tell you how much. It was some of the most fun times I've ever had. We would have a LAN party set up. It would be Garrett, me, Steve, and then whoever the fourth was, and we would just
Minwoo
play
Lee,
Call of
did you
Duty.
guys play with Minwoo Lee one time or a few times?
Yeah, dude, we play with Minwoo. I know Jackson would play with Minwoo a good amount. And dude, what I'm talking about is just like you know what it is. Like with your boys, you have a LAN party set up, and especially like what's going on right now, those winter storms that would come through Texas and everything was shut down. Oh, dude, we would game probably 10 to 12 hours a day 'cause there's no film golf content. It's 20 degrees outside, and yeah, dude, such great times. And obviously, I'm still super close with the kid. I mean, we're coming up on 5.5 years of good now, being around and everything, and just honestly very grateful for all the boys and have a great relationship with all of them.
It's crazy, man. I cannot believe we're coming up past 5 years. Like it's insane. Speaking of the good old days, man, you guys just did the good reunion. 3 years. Like I don't know
Yes.
if it, like over 3 years filming with Grant and Micah. Like, I remember back in the day, like I hadn't even started my channel back then, and like that was such a big thing because of how popular you guys were back in the day. And not that you're not popular now, but like that
Yeah.
was like you guys were doing like that was off so many hole in ones. 3 years later, man, did everything go as expected? And just talk to me about like the Good reunion, how cool that was getting the original boys back together. Cause those like that is some of my favorite content still on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal time, and it was wild too because we're looking at it, and me and Max were kind of doing the math. You know, Max, one of the geniuses behind the videography, the editing, everything. And we're kind of going over the math, and I'm like, we have done good longer without them than we had with them. And that's one thing that kind of blew my mind is like, I felt for sure they had been around for a majority of the time we've been doing this. It was 2 years they were here, and then we've done like three and a half years without them. It's like, damn. And obviously, I've seen Micah was my partner at last year's Desert Open. I've seen Grant at the Internet Invitational and all that. And honestly, it was so cool. Like Grant lives in Florida. I just moved to Florida about 2.5 months ago. And I was just so happy for the kid, dog. Like he has his dream life. He's building a beautiful house. He's getting his dream boat. They take the boat to the Bahamas, and it was so nice seeing the guys. And genuinely, you could just feel everybody was so happy for everybody's successes. Like that's all we cared about. There was no like being a golf YouTuber, no being any of that. It was just like five dudes that I guess it would technically be six guys that linked up together on the course. We told each other how the past 3 years have been, and just genuinely happy for everybody. Like that's really it. I was stoked to see Grant building this boat. It's a beautiful boat. So excited for the kid to get that. And just hearing how much fun he has out on the water and with his wife and everything, and hearing about Micah and Katie and them and all that, I just, yeah, really just felt good to hear that they're doing well and just wishing them all the best.
I love that, man, because like I know, like I said, so long ago now, it's crazy. Even like just hearing you say like you've done good longer without them than with them. Hearing that in my head is like, damn, that's crazy. But
It's
like I
wild.
know, like at the time there was probably tension. It makes sense, but like it's
Yeah.
so good to see you guys like all happy, moved into separate part of your lives, and I think it worked out for everybody. Like Grant, and Mike are doing their own thing. Good is killing it, and you guys have found an amazing roster, and Brad and Sean who have really brought new life to the content. Like you said,
Hmm.
Max and Colin are so good on the ideation process on the
Yes.
last road trip. And yeah, man, like you said, it was very cool to see and heartwarming. And I want to ask you one thing because you mentioned in the video with Micah where you mentioned you want to do it more often, like 3 to 4 times a year. Like, I guess, do
Yeah,
you feel
dude.
that way still? And like, I guess,
Yes,
why do you
dude.
feel that way? Do you want to get everyone together that often?
I don't know. It was just it was such a good time. It was so nice. You could see from the get go, Micah and I have had like a big brother, little brother kind of relationship. We'd always bicker. We'd always go on about stuff. But genuinely, Micah to me is just a fun ass dude to be around. He's so much fun. I have a great time talking with him. I just have a great time hanging out with him. Same with Grant. Grant and I, all we did was really talk about boats and fishing and being out on the water. And like, dude, you could get me going for 8 hours, 10 hours talking about that kind of stuff. And just genuinely, they're good people. They're good people to be around, and I just enjoyed being around them. And it was kind of like it's like it was kind of one of those feelings, those emotions where it's like we've been doing this for 5.5 years. It is sometimes so easy to get distracted, and obviously it's super important to focus on what's ahead of you. But it's so easy sometimes to get caught up in loss of like where you started. And when I saw Grant and I saw Micah, it had me thinking back to those times in the first house, all the trips we went on, specifically being in Jupiter, Palm Beach area doing it. That first time we filmed the videos, it was actually before Stumps vs. Twigs. It was underdogs versus overdogs
I remember that. Yeah.
when me and Garrett had back to back holdouts at Palm Beach National. And yeah, regardless of the hard times, whatever it is, some drama, some beef, that's all past us. And I just genuinely, like, when I saw them, I didn't care at all about any of the stuff with the breakup that had happened, anything like that. It was immediately the first thing that came to mind was all the good times I've had with them. That's it. That's all it was. All we did was talk about the good times we had. And yeah, dude, it's just so much fun just being on the course with them. And honestly, the only thing I can say is it was a good time. So why not do it again? That's all there
I
was
love
to
that,
it.
man. I
Yes,
love that, man. I
sir.
think I told you last week at the PGA show that my first good video I ever watched was that video that you hold out with Garrett back to back, which is why
Dude,
I'm so like that's
dude.
why I'm so high. And dude, you're making my job way easier because that's gonna lead into my next question
Yeah.
is what are some of your top good moments? Man, do you have like a top
Oh,
five
dude.
list?
I mean, and top good moments. That the back to back callouts with me and Garrett. That's something I don't think we could. I don't think we could replicate that again if we tried. It's the math on it is astounding when you sit there and break down the numbers of the probability of it. You have obviously me being a Chicago boy. That first time we went and did a live event in Chicago, making that putt from off the green. My whole family was there in Chicago. That was one of the greatest nights of my life, getting to share that moment with the people that matter the most to me. And Sharp's hole in one on a par four, a Shadow Glen, the first one, astounding. I mean, obviously all of Matt's hole in ones, that's just phenomenal. The kid has three hole in ones throughout the course of Good, two of them on par fours. Again, you want to break down the math? That stuff doesn't happen. That's where, to me, generally, when I look at stuff like that, that's God. That's it. That's the only thing I can use to describe that. God has blessed us with this platform. He's blessed us with these incredible moments that we'll carry on and get to show our kids. And then after that, I would say my hole in one felt good. Obviously, that was fun. But honestly, to tell you, like my favorite moments in Good, most of them have honestly happened off the camera. Just being on the trips with everybody, going to the Airbnb, playing video games, bringing the Nintendo Switch. Would sit there and have Super Smash Bros. Tournaments all the time, but they weren't really tournaments because Michael Sue would whoop us in all of them. He was a videographer and editor for Good and still works with some of the guys. He would whoop us
He's
in all of
Sean's
them.
editor. Yeah, he's Sean's editor.
Yeah,
I know
exactly. And
Michael.
and
Yeah.
I love Michael. And like genuinely those are some of the best times. Like you're done filming, you have a great time on the course, and you go get the food, you go have the good times after. Like in Arizona, we stayed at Big Daw's house, which we're staying at again this year for the Desert Open. We created this dumbass game called Tips, and we would play it for 4.5, 5 hours every night out on the basketball court in front of his house. Couldn't tell you how much fun I had. Game made no sense. Not a whole lot of structure or rules to it. You just go out there, run around, and have fun. But yeah, dude, it's the simple things. That's the way it always works out in life. The little things are where you find the most joy and have the most fun. It's not the big things of going to this resort or this beautiful place. It's just like the little stuff that happens along the way is genuinely some of my best times. That's what I would have
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah, man. And I want to talk about something specifically because it's another thing I have on my question sheet here. But your hole in one, dude, how cool was that? Like doing that. Speaking of back to back hole outs, you and Sean almost had back to back hole in ones. You're about yay far from it, dude. Talk to me about your hole in one and how cool that was. And was that your first?
That was my first hole in one ever. And I've made one before. I am pretty sure in like a hole in one challenge. Yeah, I made one in Dubai in a hole in one challenge. That don't count though. This was on a real course, legit first shot. And it was like one of those things. Like coming up to that week, I genuinely hadn't swung a club in like probably 2.5, 3 weeks. We had a big break in between good trips. And all of a sudden we're on the range of the first day. And I just remember Scott Fawcett taught me one thing. He's like, hey, I think you're hitting the ball in a snap hook too far left because it's too far back in your stance. Just move it up about an inch or two. And on the range with Sean, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to move it up an inch or two. And 2 holes in, it just started feeling good, feeling real good. And that road trip's the best continued golf I've ever played in my life. Coming off 2.5, 3 weeks without swinging. And I think that was day 2 when I made the hole in one. And I think it was like 142 playing down to 138 or something. And I hit this 52-degree, dude, and it left the club face and just felt like butter. And it was heading right at it. And I'm like, I know there's a bowl back there. And it caught it. And it kind of did a little spin to the left. And it's looping in. And it's one of those moments because every golfer has that feeling so often where a ball looks like it's going in. And you get this like little adrenaline rush and you feel like a kid again. And then it disappeared. You don't know what to do. So our usual good reaction is we just fucking ran. Sorry, can I cuss? Will you?
Yeah, you can cuss. Oh yeah.
And dude, we just ran to the hole. It was one of the most, just one of the most blissful feelings I've ever had. It was like euphoric. It was so much fun. And then again, you're getting to share it with all the guys. It's just a good time. And we got to be in the Earth Roamer that night. So that felt pretty good too.
Dude, I forgot about how good you played on the road trip. Like you clutched up so much. Like you played some unreal golf during that road trip, dude. I think at Coeur d'Alene, you played unreal.
Dude, Coeur d'Alene, bro, that was so much fun. It was lightning in a bottle. Hopefully we'll find it again sometime.
Cool, man. Well, I've got one question for you specifically while we're still on the good stuff. This is from one of the members, and I'd love to see if you could guess it. But it's, if you ran the Oklahoma drill, how many times do you think you can tackle Derrick Henry and why?
2 out of 100. 2 out of 100.
Why? There's
2
no. First of
out
all,
of
there's no
100.
chance in hell.
No, no,
Why?
no, 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 no. So you gotta. This is what I said. This was the stipulations of what we set up. Derrick Henry's at the 50-yard line. I'm at the 40-yard line. In between the hashes, if it's full field, I'm not touching them. In between the hashes, I get 100 tries. I only have to tackle them twice. I think any physically able, capable man could tackle another man 2% of the time inside the hashes. Like I just have to jump at his legs and hope he falls 2 out of 100 times. I think that is a very reasonable thing, and I I I'm very confident that I could do that 2 out of 100 times. Would I be hurting the other 98 times? Yeah, but 2% of the time, I think I'm physically capable enough to tackle Derrick Henry.
I love that, dude. Guys, comment below what you think on that. More on the, I want to hear more on your competitive side later.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
have a question about that. So, but before we kind of get off the good stuff, man, I want to talk to you about sobriety,
Yes,
Tourette's,
sir.
and all this, man. Because I know you've opened up and you've been very open about it. Which props to you as a man. That
Thank
is
you.
not easy to do.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm love that you do it and use your platform for good. But I guess just talk to me about that and how it's gone on over these last, as good has grown, and how you've kind of gotten over that fear of being, on camera and overcoming your anxiety and all those things.
Yeah. So I guess, do you want me to start with sobriety or
Yeah,
kind of the
dude, that
Tourette's?
whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I
I'll
know I
start.
just
I'll
threw a lot
start.
at you. My bad.
No, you're good, dog. So sobriety. I've been sober for 8.5 years now. July 23rd, 2017 is when I got sober, and honestly, that was the biggest catalyst in my life where I really found my relationship with God. The most life changing day I've ever had, and I guess to go through the whole story of, I mean, I was drinking, and I'll say it because I said it in the video. I was drinking and doing a lot of cocaine my first 2 years of college, and I was not in a good spot. I was pretty close to losing my scholarship, the Chick Evans scholarship through the WGA, who honestly, they are a big part of what saved my life because they took me from it. Without the scholarship, I would have been a man with nothing to lose, and they gave me something to lose. And it kind of kicked my ass into gear a little bit when I got arrested my second time. And yeah, I'll just fast forward to going to my first AA meeting. It was a really bad night for me. You can imagine what it was. And I woke up the next morning and I went out, and it was around noon, and my dad was having a bowl of cereal for lunch. And I sat down there, and he wouldn't even really look at me. He was so disgusted at me. I don't remember anything from the whole afternoon, night before. And he goes to the printer and prints out 2 pieces of paper and gives it to me, and it's 90 AA meetings in the next 90 days in our area. And then I just felt terrible for how much I was hurting someone who's literally sacrificed everything for me to get me to where I am today, and someone who's just given me everything I could have asked for as a parent. And so I took that piece of paper, I walked outside on the patio to see my mom because I was going to ask her to take me to him and go with me. And as soon as she saw me, she just started tearing up and crying. And I was like, wow, I must have really done something bad last night. And I completely blacked out the night before. My buddy had to load me in the car. My mom had to come pick me up at 3:30 in the morning. My dad, who's been sober since I was 2 years old, had to come outside to the driveway because my mom couldn't get me inside. And he had to throw me over his shoulder and take me inside and put me in bed. And my mom stayed up with me all night, making sure I didn't choke on my throw up. She debated just taking me to the hospital. And yeah, I could never control it. But anyways, I went to the meeting, and at this first meeting, the final person who spoke, he said something that stuck with me that I've never heard before. I have it tattooed on my leg. It's the most powerful thing I've ever heard, especially at that moment in my life. He ended his speech with saying, "It's as simple as do the next right thing." I'm like, wow, that does make sense. And it's simple, but it's not easy. And something about that statement, I truly believe God used them as a vessel to get that message to me. Just kind of hit me. I'm like, okay, do the next right thing. I can do that. I can understand that. And then I go home, and it was about 3.5 hours, 4 hours later, I'm talking to my dad because he's been sober at that point for, gosh, close to 20 years then. He's been sober. And he's talking to me about it, asking me about the meeting and all this. And he then says, it's as simple as do the next right thing. He said, it's simple, but it's not easy. Do the next right thing. And I'm like, I've never heard this saying before in my life. And I've heard it 2 times in the past 4 hours. That's got to be something. And then I took my sobriety super seriously, started going to meetings all the time that summer in between sophomore year of college and junior year of college. And I did fall off the wagon once. I had 2.5 beers at Ragbri about 2 weeks later, which is a bike ride all the way across Iowa, which is a complete booze fest. Everybody's drinking, everybody's boozing. Not a good spot for a newly sober kid to be at. And in my mind, I just got caught up in the thought process of, I'm 20 years old. I have 2 more years of college. How could I possibly stay sober for 2 more years of college? And I got taken away from the thought process of taking it day by day. Break it up into digestible little steps that you can control and compartmentalize and feel you can accomplish. And I got away from that, and I broke down, and I had 2.5 beers, and then we were in an RV, and my best friend came out of the shower. He had a towel around him, grabbing his clothes, and he saw me with the beers. He was like, "Really, dude? You're really doing this shit again?" And he checked me, just like a real friend would. He held me accountable. And I didn't know what to do, so I got on my bike. I literally went right to the gym. There was an Anytime Fitness right down the street from our RV, and I was working out. And then my mom caught wind of what happened. She got me, and I called my dad and had about a 15, 20-minute conversation with him. And that's the last drink I've ever had. It was July 23rd, 2017. And yeah, I don't know. That's when I really found God. I turned to him. And I gave it all to him because as a man, you're powerless over drugs and alcohol if you're an addict. And I just surrendered to him. And ever since then, I can't tell you the beauty that's been brought into my life. I don't drink anymore. I don't do drugs anymore. And yeah, my life's been so blessed and so beautiful. And I can't be more grateful for that. And I truly think one of the reasons I shared that video is I look at it as, regardless of all the hard work I've put into it, regardless of the time and energy I've put into it, he blessed me with a platform. And I'm going to use it to help people. I've been through drug and alcohol addiction, and if I can help out just one person going through the same thing, damn straight I'm going to do that. And I've been blessed enough to meet with people at live events who have come up to me, and we've been able to share prayer, and we've been able to talk about stuff, and they've confided in me what they're going through and what they're battling. And dude, that's the most important thing in the world to me is like, obviously everybody loves watching the golf. They love seeing this. They love seeing the cool moments. But when somebody comes up to me at a live event and I have a 25, 30-minute conversation with them about my faith and about my sobriety, that's the most important thing in the world, dog. I could not ask for more from everything I've done other than if I could just help some people get on the right path. That's it.
Very inspiring message, man. A very powerful
Thank
message,
you.
especially like going through like that in like years in your life in your 20s where it is very difficult to
Mm-hmm.
not let that type of stuff surround you and consume you. And not only
Mm-hmm.
that, you've done it while you're in one of, a lifestyle in YouTube, and you guys have had so much growth and good that it easily could have, I can't imagine the strength of will you show. And thank you for sharing
Thank
that,
you.
man. It's a very
Yes,
inspiring
sir.
message.
Of
Do
course.
you mind talking a little bit about like Tourette's, ADHD? Like I struggle with ADHD. It's something being on camera is not easy for
Yeah.
me sometimes. And so like talk a little bit about that. And then, like I said, just overcoming that being on camera all the time and how
Yeah.
you've
So it
done that.
was, of course, brother. And I don't know. I'm sure people have probably seen it here because my face is always up there. You'll see me tick and twitch a little bit, but I don't know. It's kind of around fifth grade. I started to notice some ticks and twitches, and we never thought anything of it. It never affected anything. Didn't affect my mental health, and it still doesn't. I'm blessed where I'm able to have a great quality of life. And then it was freshman year of college, kind of that summer going into freshman year of college. Big change, new social setting, and everything. Dog, I just got insecure about it. And I started to notice them more and more, and I got really insecure about it, and it affected my mental health and all this. And I think that's one of the big reasons I turned to drinking and drugs and all that, because you don't feel your insecurities when you're drunk or high. You just can carry on and have a good time. And I was kind of self-medicating and coping with that. And yeah, and then it just kind of clicked one day. It was before I got sober. I kind of stopped. I just didn't give him power anymore. It was just kind of, it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just kind of, okay, this is me. We're going to carry on. And that's about it. That's about all there is to it. And nowadays, sometimes the only thing it does, it takes me a little longer to hit a golf ball sometimes. Like some days it'll kind of be a little battle to pull the trigger and get over a ball and do that. But if that's the biggest thing I got to deal with when it comes to it, I'm pretty blessed. And yeah, I also just wanted to share it and talk about it too. And I've been lucky enough from that video where I talked about my sobriety. I've talked to a number of other men, and especially some young men who also have it and deal with it. And they face insecurities from it as well. And you just really aren't yourself. You kind of feel like a shell of yourself because you're focused on this. And I'm blessed to have a platform where they can be like, oh, look at Bubby has Tourette's and look at what he's doing. He's having so much fun on camera, living an amazing life. And yeah, that's about it. It was just freshman year of college. It kind of took a toll on my mental health, and I had insecurities around it. And yeah, and then I just kind of decided one day, I'm like, hey, this is me. And that's all there is to it. I ain't changing it. So might as well embrace it and carry on.
Love it, man. I love your attitude. You're one of my favorite people, like, ever. It's truly like it's awesome, man. Cool. Well, let's transition into something that's a little more recent. The Internet Invitational, man. That was, it feels like a long time ago, but earlier, or I guess later last year, one of the coolest and I think best pieces of content that has
Phenomenal.
ever been in YouTube golf history. Like just my channel alone talking about it, I had my best month ever. So I guess let's keep it very broad. Can you just start with talking about your experience at the Internet Invitational, and then obviously when it was airing, everything that had gone on after the fact?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. I'll just start with what it was like being there. Great time. Loved it. Had a great time. Everybody in the industry is truly just a good person from all my interactions with them. Dave was awesome. I had such a good time with Dave. Oh, excuse me. And Dave had actually caught wind that it was my cigars. Hey, he caught wind that it was my cigars and nicotine pouches in Big Cedar Lodge, and he was like, he's like, I like that hustle. And he had all his guys go in and buy Bubbie stogies and all that. Da, da, da. People were doing the nukes throughout the week and everything. And he's that kind of guy. Like if he sees someone hustling and trying to make something happen, he'll support him. He was such a nice dude. And everybody else, great time. And the thing is, for an inaugural event of that magnitude, they ran it so well. It was smooth. Like it was so well ran for being the first ever of its kind. And huge props to the Barstool team. They did a phenomenal job. And then behind the scenes, Lisa, who's a lady that works there, super sweet lady, did a phenomenal job. And obviously the editing team. There's never been anything of that magnitude produced in YouTube golf ever before. And dude, their editing team just nailed it. Phenomenal job to them. Kudos to them. And yeah, I had a great time. And then to answer your other question about after it all happened, honestly, dog, I make a YouTube video and I go live my life. That's about it. That's how I do it. My screen time is normally less than 2.5 hours, 2 hours a day. I don't go on my phone a whole lot. I make YouTube videos and I carry on and I go spend time with my girlfriend and my dog, and that's about it. I don't get too involved in the aftermath of any of it.
First of all, I respect that a lot because that most people nowadays don't log off and just unplug for social media, especially when you're in social media. So props to you for that. But
Thank you.
That makes sense, dude. And like it was like just watching it, dude. It looked awesome. Like shout out to the Barstool editing team. I had Brendan Jones on from Foreplay, who I know you know.
Great guy,
dude.
Love
just
him.
like the editors, dude. Like the Collins, the Maxes, the Skies, the Brendans. They are. Like I compare them to caddies, right? And I love you because your history. I compare like the editors to caddies. Like they are the straw that stirs the drink. They do all the dirty work that no one notices. How much time and respect and like just energy goes into editing, dude. And I respect those guys because they are unbelievable at what they do and make that type of stuff possible and make it for me, people who watch, like just it's unbelievable what they do. So shout out to those guys,
dude,
man.
super talented, bro. Like I'm a 4.5 handicapper. My dumb ass just goes out and golfs and has fun. They're the ones who turn it in, like you said, as consumer to the beautiful storytelling product. The incredibly talented, all of them all.
Yeah. All right, man. Slopegate. I gotta ask you about it. And we can, I guess, loop the other one in there because I know there was like Rockgate or whatever. Like you were obviously honest and loyal, but I guess Slopegate. Do you mind sharing your thoughts on everything? Like just even since it's been 2 months. I know it's you and Mo are obviously good, but I just want to hear your thoughts of just going through everything on site and Slopegate from your perspective.
Yeah, to me, it was me and Garrett kind of talking to Joey up on the hill of Hole 10 out there at Paynes Valley. And there's some rumblings of somebody might have slope on. So we're like, hey, Dave, we just told Joey, like, we think we should do a rangefinder check, go do all that. And Joey went up to Dave and Whitney, who had money on Paige's team and Mo's and Frankie's team. And Dave's like, I'm going to do a rangefinder check. As soon as that happens, Whitney just booked it down to the green and was telling his team. So immediately I'm kind of like, and I was advocating for keep him on the green. Let's go check. Don't let anybody go to their carts. Let's go check. And I don't know. For me at first, just seeing Whitney go down to the green, as soon as imminently after that conversation ended, I was like, oh, okay. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. And yeah, that's about it. And then I watch everybody go back to their carts. And then what I said in the video and what the video showed is the rest. All I did was I went up to Dave and I told Dave exactly what I saw. And the video showed that I said exactly what I saw and left it at that. The rest is up to anybody else's interpretation. I don't even know the full truth. I've talked to him before, and yeah, it's just I saw what I saw, and I told Dave, and that's all there is to it.
I mean, dude, I've talked to Mo behind the scenes, and like I don't think he had it on. I did a whole investigation here on the show, but I love that it's open for interpretation because
Yeah.
that's, I feel like, what it was meant to be. Not to
Hmm.
rehash like all the hate that Mo got, because I feel like that was the worst part of it, but still, like,
Terrible dog.
it was like you couldn't script a better first Internet Invitational, man.
No, you
And
couldn't. And they're playing for $1 million, so I couldn't sit there and see what I saw and not say anything. That's the biggest thing. If anybody else did it, I would have said the same thing. It Yeah, what Mo got after that and everything that happened, he didn't deserve that in the slightest. Like you said, I'm good with Mo. I think this happened like 5 months ago now when it was actually filmed and recorded. But it is what it is. I guess there'll be next year and another full set of Internet Invitational and great content.
absolutely, man. I got one more question before we get off the Internet Invitational.
Yeah.
You turned down an opportunity to win $250,000 very quickly, and people talked about it. I mean, I get why you did it because I know the type of guy you are, and I don't think people at this point watching this interview this far in, first of all, thank you for watching. But if they haven't figured out what kind of guy you are now, it's very obvious. But I
Thank
guess
you.
talk to me about that and why was it so easy for you to turn down that
Dude,
opportunity to win more money?
it all comes back to what I heard that first AA meeting and what I have tattooed on my leg. Do the next right thing. I don't care if those people are going to be my competition the next day. Being selfish and taking money and not putting the best interests of the team at hand, every human being innately knows that's not the right thing to do. That is not the selfless thing to do. And in my mind, if I'm able to make a clear delineation between what the right thing is and what the wrong thing is, I'm going to go with the right thing. So it just goes back to that quote I have on my leg: "Do the next right thing." I would have wanted them to, if I was on the other side and I was one of the 10 people sitting outside the ropes in that decision, I would have hoped they would have been selfless as well and moved the whole team on to the next day. And honestly, at the end of the day, if I go on and me and Mo win 250K, I didn't do the right thing. So I don't care. That's all there is to it. I'll have plenty of blessings and opportunities come in the future, and everybody will. If you stay on the right path and do the correct things, you'll be blessed. So I really just wanted to do the selfless thing and do what was right for the team. And sure enough, I ended up not making it to the finals. But hey, that's the way it goes. I can lay my head down at night knowing I acted selflessly and did the right thing for the team.
Do the next right thing, folks. If you take away anything from this video, do the next right thing. Our guy
That's
Bubbie
it.
Golf
Yes.
is an amazing human being,
Please.
man. I lied. One more question.
Yeah.
Just because Beef, did you have any like special moments with Beef that I don't know if you given the chance to talk about that yet, but obviously it was horrible what happened. But just wanted to bring it up because of obviously it's that Internet Invitation should be dedicated to Beef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. I mean, genuinely, like when I say everybody I've met in like the golf YouTube space and at the Weekly Internet Invitational, everybody's a good person. Everybody's so nice to be around, so happy to be around. But like, there's just genuinely a different vibe of Beef. Just like there was like just this aura of joy around him. So happy to be there, taking his hat off to shake everybody's hand, and dude, genuinely just such a down to earth, humble guy who was just so grateful for the opportunity to be there. And that's all there is to really say it is he was just a humble dude who was kind to everybody, so damn polite, so respectful to everybody. And just the kind of dude, anytime I saw him, I went to dap him up when we were seen at this event or that event, just a smile on my face. Just makes people happy. Genuinely, not just saying this sadly because of what transpired after the invitation and everything, but genuinely one of the best people I've met throughout my 5.5 years doing this thing. Just so kind and respectful, and he stood up for the right stuff. And yeah, we lost a good one. Everybody lost a good one, and Yeah, there's not going to be another beef, dog. He was one of a kind, phenomenal guy, and I'm glad I had the honor to meet him a few times and spend some time with him.
Love that, dude. R.I.P. to Beef. I never met him, only shared some DMs, but even in the DMs, the
Mm-hmm.
same person. He literally was like,
Mm-hmm.
hope you have a wonderful day, was the DM he sent me. It's like, dude, that's just kind of
Awesome.
showed what kind of guy he was, man. Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about you have a cigar, dude, and obviously you have other business ventures outside
Yeah.
of Good Good Now, which has been
Yeah.
super cool with the Greenside guys, which I've done some work with you guys. Awesome brand to work with. Talk to me
Thank
about
you.
how cool that's been, man, and like growing that side of like doing some other business stuff outside of kind of the it's in the golf world, but it's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it was so fun. So I was smoking cigars in some of the videos, and then Greenside Cigars reached out, and we came to a deal, and we came out to Bubbie Stogie. And the first 500 boxes, we did a box signing, and everything did great. And the best part about all of it is we partnered with the Folds of Honor, and $10 of every box went to the Folds of Honor. So in that first drop, we raised $5,000 for a phenomenal cause, one of the best causes in America. And yeah, it was really cool being able to come out with something that was a passion project for me and partner with the Folds of Honor, really get to know Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney through all of it. And now it started as a passion project, and I've been able to become partner in the company and become part owner of Greenside Cigar and Nukes. And dude, the sales team we have behind it, everybody we have behind it is phenomenal. And I think we are now in 340, after the PGA show, 340 courses nationwide are carrying Greenside cigars at the moment, which is awesome. I never thought I would have a cigar that's in that many courses. And yeah, we have very lofty goals with expanding the sales team, and we just genuinely believe we have great products too. And I mean, there's 17,500 courses in America, so hopefully one day we're able to just get a third of that and be a little over 5,000 courses. That's a big goal. And yeah, at the same time, the fact that we're able to support the Folds of Honor throughout the process of it is incredibly important, and I'm very proud of that.
Love that, man. I got a question about the Folds of Honor. We're gonna get into that a little
Yeah.
bit more in a little bit. So shout out to Ty, Zach, and all the guys over at Greenside. I love them as a someone who's used your cigars. I love them. They're awesome. Definitely
Thank
check
you.
them out, guys. If you want to, for like I said, Greenside Cigars is an awesome, awesome company to work for. Cool, man. This next part slash segment is gonna be like it's like why are you is what I'm gonna label this segment. Okay. So basically, the questions are going to be, why are you blank or why are you this?
Okay.
I start, why are you so competitive?
Mm. I mean, I think it's an innate thing that every human has. Everybody's competitive. I want to win at everything I do, and I'm not the best at golf, but you see out there, I'll lock in, I'll get fiery, I'll have a good time, and I don't know, dude. It genuinely, ever since I was a kid, my dad, the way I was raised, I was always competing in sports, and I don't know, dude. It's just something I think all men have in them, all humans have in them, is to be competitive. And yeah, I don't think you should ever shy away from having that aspect to you. I was always a kid in gym class who was, why are you playing so hard? Why are you being so competitive? Because I want to win. I don't care what we're playing. I want to win. And yeah, I was always raised being told that winning's important. I played really high level competitive baseball growing up, and it wasn't show up and get a participation trophy. It wasn't play for fun. It was, if you play a game, you're playing to win. And I'm very grateful I was raised that way. And I think that's a big reason why I am where I am today. I was able to apply that to everything I do now. And yeah, no, I'm not a big participation trophy guy. I think if you're top three, get a trophy. If not, go work hard, come back next year, try again.
Love that, man. I can't wait for a bunch of little bubbies. If you ever have kids one day, just like, I can't wait.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
you're
I'll
going to
tell
be
you right now.
awesome, dad, man.
If my kids come home with the participation trophy, that's not going in the room. That ain't going on the fridge. You got to earn your stuff.
Love that. All right. Next one. Why are you so clutch?
Dude, that one I can't. You're talking about like the putts on the final hole, this and that. Genuinely, the only thing I can say about it is golf is a really long game. I'm not exactly way my mind's wired. I can't really focus super hard for like those 4 hours. Like hit shot in between shot, hit shot. But like when it comes down to like hole 18 and like a must make putt, it's almost just kind of like I don't know, I feel hyper focused. I feel super focused. And I've literally talked to myself internally before. It's like, why can't I feel like this over every shot? Because Tiger Woods is able to feel this way. Not saying I feel the same way as Tiger, but these guys are the best in the world. Are able to hyper focus and feel this kind of flow throughout every shot. And like for me, it's like putts on 18. If it's to extend the match or win the match, I kind of feel, for me and my level of golfer, I don't know, dude. It just feels like this kind of, like I'm able to super focus on it. I think I'm able to really focus on it because there's nothing after. There's no more energy to be given. It's like do or die, make it happen. And but I mean, it's the same thing. Like I did a video where I did 1,000 pull-ups and ran 10 miles all in one go, and it's the exact same mental state. I like for 7 hours and 20 minutes, I just felt pure focus and locked in, and that's kind of what I feel over like those putts on 18 or those putts to extend the match. And I don't know, dude. I got that kind of brain where if it's something it really, really wants, it'll lock in and it won't stop till it gets it done. Now, I wish I could do it for 18. I wish I could do it for 18 holes of golf. That's my one downfall, but I like it. I'll take it for what it is.
Bubby wants the ball. Bubby wants the ball on the line. Yeah, I still remember, I think it was like a 6-person scramble. You made that eagle putt on 18. You know what I'm talking about? Like it was against like Luke Clanton, a bunch of guys.
Yes, it was in Florida. It was in Florida. It was a 6v6 scramble against the top junior golfers, and we I think Sharp hit a beautiful drive to the back edge of the green, and we had like a 45-footer sliding down the hill right, and everybody putt, and I knew it. I'm like, I want to go last. I just felt good, and dude, I hit the hole and went in, and we ended up winning the next hole. And I mean, I think another reason I focus in so much is like the emotions in that moment just feel so good. Just seeing your competitor's face, just like what, just not expecting it at all, especially because like 5 guys already missed. And now they only have 1 bullet left to dodge. And being that person, it's fun. It's fun to play spoiler in those moments.
Love it. All right, next one. Why are you so loyal?
I can't tell you this one. There was never anything in my life that kind of flipped a switch or anything. I don't know. I just kind of always have been. Maybe it has to do with the do the next right thing, but I don't know. If people do good by me, I'll do good by them. And I think it probably does come down to that do the next right thing. Yeah, I got no answer for you.
No, you're good.
I'm just
man.
loyal.
Right,
And I think it's also too because I was very blessed in my life, and all the people I have been loyal to have been loyal to me and have always done good by me. I've never really had anything happen in my life where I've been incredibly loyal to someone and then that trust is broken. I've always been able to reap the rewards of loyalty, and I think it's just stuck with me here. And hey, the other thing is too, if at the end of the night I can lay my head down and say I did the next right thing, that's all I care about. If somebody wants to screw me over per se and not be loyal to me, hey, that's on them. They got to figure that out with God. That ain't on me. So that's kind of how I look at it too. If I do the next right thing, that's all I can control.
All right. Last one before we transition into some other stuff. Why do you like doing hard shit?
I mean, it's the best thing in the world to do. The best thing in the world to do. Honestly, I grew up, my dad did manual labor. My whole family, every man did manual labor before me. And genuinely, I remember being like 3 years old, 4 years old, going up to my grandparents had a greenhouse, and they would just have little jobs for me to do using my hands. Like I would have to move firewood from here to here, and I just loved it. It was just genuinely like manual labor was the most rewarding thing. Like even we just moved into the house here. I moved like 7,500 pounds of rocks last week to get them all laid around the house. I wanted to do it myself, and it felt incredibly rewarding. And I don't know. I think another thing is too, it just comes back to like sobriety. That's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And I reap the most rewards of anything in my life by doing that. And if doing that thing was incredibly hard and it brought so much beauty into my life and all this, doing other hard stuff has got to be able to do the same thing. And I just think genuinely as a man and as anybody in this world, it's good to carry on and test yourself. Because I felt myself even this past 5.5 years, there's been a few times where I've gotten complacent and comfortable and yeah, I've been lucky enough to meet some incredible people and talk to some very successful people, and a lot of them say the same thing: is comfort's a terrible thing. Being comfortable is the enemy of success. Being comfortable is the enemy of growth. And if I feel myself being comfortable, I know I'm not doing the right thing because you don't grow in those moments. And it's funny you brought that up. My buddy, long driver Jack Smith, just moved down here to Florida, and we were at the gym working out, and just stupid guy shit. We're at the gym and we're like, damn, I wish they had a tire here to flip. Like, you know, the big tractor tires that you flip back and forth.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it. And we're like, what's something cool we could do with that? And both of our dumbass minds came to the same conclusion at the same time. We're like, you know what? Let's buy a tractor tire. And one of these days, we're going to do a marathon tire flip. So 26.2 miles. You start at 3 a.m. and you probably don't stop till 5 a.m. the next day. And you just go on and flip that tire. And I think the biggest reason, too, why you do it, if you're able to on your own accord, put yourself in those moments and those instances of being incredibly uncomfortable, and you prove to yourself that you completed the task still and got through it, what's life going to throw at you? I think it's an incredible way to prep for whatever life's going to throw at you, for the curveballs life has to throw at you, because you have that to fall back on as like, wow, I am a very capable, strong person. Like, I've done this, this, and this. And it kind of gives you like a notebook in the back of your head to remind yourself, like, yeah, I'm strong. I'm capable. And everybody is incredibly capable of being such a strong individual. And I don't know, sometimes I think it's important to prove it to yourself, just how capable you are. And that's the biggest reason why I like doing that stuff. If I get too comfortable, it's like, okay, we're going to go do 1,000 pull-ups. You shouldn't have sat on your ass too much. Now you're going to have to pay for it and prove it to yourself. That's kind of how I look at it, genuinely.
I love that, man. Well, speaking of strong people, let's use this kind of as a transition. You just had talked about it a little bit ago, but the Folds of Honor, man. I know you've done some
Yeah.
incredible work with them. Very near and dear to your heart. Talk to me a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about what it's been like working with them, why you enjoy it so much. And I know you did an event, I think here in my home state in Grand Haven at
Grand
Tech
Haven.
Nicklaus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So just talk to me a little bit about that, just why that's so important to you and just how cool it is working with them.
Yeah, well, pretty much every man in my family before me served. My grandpa was Army. The other grandpa was a Marine. And a really good family friend who I called Uncle Paul was in the Navy. And my father was in the Navy. So I have a long lineage of men who have served this country. And I was always raised to hold any vet in the highest regard or respect and show them the utmost gratitude. And that's all I was taught. It's like, hey, these men and women some of them make the ultimate sacrifice so you can live in the best country there is. And when I was coming up with the Bubbie Stogie, which Ty, the founder of Greenside and Nukes, called Cigars for a Cause, like, I want to do a Folds of Honor. I absolutely love Folds of Honor. I grew up, my dad would always tell me about Folds of Honor and Colonel Rooney. And we were able to make it be. And actually, going back to Grand Haven Golf Club, I was 10 years old in 2007. Colonel Rooney hosted the first Patriot Golf Day at Grand Haven Golf Club. My dad and I happened to be playing the course at that time. We were out there playing. I literally had just started golfing, and Colonel Rooney was set up on old hole 8, which used to be a par 3. And it was a beat the pro, or like if you hit the green. So my dad donated $10 or $20. I hit the green, and I got a box of 2 Callaway Warbirds. I remember it vividly. I didn't know at the time that was Colonel Rooney. And then we go into the clubhouse, we get done golfing, and I just remember my dad, he would always tell me, whenever Colonel Rooney was on TV, he would pause it, and he'd say, hey, son, come here, watch this. And he'd always be like, this is a man he wanted me to look up to as a role model and everything. And so fast forward from all the way back, I think it was in 2007, 2008, not even knowing I met Colonel Rooney. And this beautiful foundation he was starting, I start Bubbie Stogies, and we partner with the Folds of Honor. And now it's grown into, honestly, one of the most important relationships in my life. Colonel Rooney is, gosh, dude, when you talk about someone who is just so incredibly accomplished, who is truly one of the strongest Christians I know, getting the privilege to speak to him for hours on end and be out on the golf course with him, you'll know what I mean with what I'm about to say. He's one of those people where, like, when they talk, you listen, because you know you're learning a lot and you're being blessed with some knowledge and you're looking up to an incredible human. And yeah, dude, the Folds of Honor, what they do, obviously, their mission is they provide scholarships. So it's Folds of Honor. It's meet their sacrifice with educating their legacy. So any men and women who are in the armed forces and first responders who have made the ultimate sacrifice or who sustained serious injury while in combat, they provide scholarships for the kids or the spouses of those people, for the sons, daughters, wives, husbands of them, because obviously if someone just made the ultimate sacrifice, it's going to be very hard to figure out financially what the next step is. That's where Folds of Honor comes in and make sure they can go get the education they deserve. And I've gotten to talk to a lot of kids who have been Folds of Honor recipients, and hearing them talk about the impact that Folds of Honor has made on their lives, because they support them even past education, being there, helping them find jobs, job opportunities, and all that. It's an organization ran by some of the best people I've ever met. And it's an organization that has one of the best causes I've ever seen. And yeah, they've given away over 73,000 scholarships. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I'm incredibly honored to even be a small part of it and be able to serve in some capacity with them. It's an honor.
Love that, man. You're super passionate about a lot of causes, and I love that.
Thank you.
Like, you're just like I said, you're an amazing human being. You mentioned, have you played a lot of golf in Michigan? Like, I know you're obviously in the Chicago area.
So like when I started golfing, we would take a trip every summer up to Grand Haven, Michigan, and I would golf at Grand Haven Golf Club all the time with my dad and my grandpa and my cousin. And then it turned into American Dunes when Jack Nicklaus did the renovation. And this is another testament to how amazing the Folds of Honor is. Colonel Rooney reached out to Jack Nicklaus asking if he would do the renovation for American Dunes. Jack Nicklaus did it for free. He believed in Colonel Rooney and the cause of the Folds of Honor so much, he did the whole design of American Dunes from Nicklaus Designs, one of the best in the world. He did it pro bono, did it completely for free for him because he loved their cause. And when you pull up to American Dunes now, they have a whole walkway. I'm pretty sure it's called I'm blanking on the name. It's like the Walkway of Honor. But they have all these memorials to men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice and their children who received the Folds of Honor scholarship. And dude, it just makes you proud to be an American. Just so proud to be an American. So grateful to live in the best country there is when you see the sacrifices these men and women have made. So I can hit a golf ball for a living, and we can do this show. It's only possible because of them. And yeah, I don't see my dad tear up too much, but he teared up walking through that as a vet, seeing all the sacrifices these individuals have made for us to live in the best country there is. And later on that day, I got to skydive in, land on hole 10 with Navy SEALs. So that was pretty sweet too. Never thought I'd be doing that.
Yeah, you go to skydive with Sean too.
Yeah. Oh, I got Sean up there. We had a good time.
Yeah, man. Well, speaking of Michigan golf, man, I would love to play around with you. I challenge everyone to match. So if you ever get through the Michigan, or if we ever link up in person, I definitely would love to challenge you to
Let's do it.
A fun match sometime.
Let's
man.
do it.
And like I said, Michigan golf is very near and dear to my heart. I love being from Michigan. Yeah, man. Cool. You make this, like I said, I don't know. We did not rehearse this, I swear. But my next question is around meeting Jack Nicklaus, dude, because you just talked about American Dunes.
Dude.
How cool was that, meeting Jack Nicklaus and just being able to do that, man?
I mean, it makes no sense. I'm a 4.5 handicapper who got very lucky to be in the position I'm in, and it blossomed into getting to meet Jack Nicklaus for not just 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We got to spend like 4.5 hours with him on the putting green, have lunch with him, and then it would have been, I think it was, because it was Folds of Honor Friday. It was Friday. Excuse me, I was drinking a coffee before this. It's got me burping. It was Folds of Honor Friday, and that was the day me and Sean were skydiving in and landing on 18 at the Memorial. My second time skydiving with Navy SEALs. Fucking badass dog. Don't know what I'm doing in that position, but I will take it. Had so much fun. And I reached out to Scott Tolley, who is Jack's right-hand man. And so this is a wild story. We'll go all the way through the whole story. So we got done golfing in Orlando. And this fan came up who runs a sports card company, like trades, kind of like what Jackson or Blake are doing. Huge sports card guy. And he gave the winning team, I think, 6 packs each. And the losing team, who was me, Brad, and Sharf, we got 1 pack each. So I got 1 pack. And he told us before he left, he's like, hey, if you pull a Jack Nicklaus rookie, that is the holy grail. That is the jackpot. Actually, I think the winning team got 9 or 10 packs. So they got a lot more packs than we did. And I go home, and I forgot they were in my backpack. And it's like 2 weeks later, I pull it out, and I open it, and I'm kind of going through it. Saw some awesome names. And then I'm kind of moved the last one slowly, and I saw Jack Nicklaus. And I pulled the Jack Nicklaus rookie card. And, of course, my dumb ass, I didn't bring it to Ohio. I didn't bring it with me. I'm like, dude, I could have had Jack sign this. This would have been the coolest thing I've ever had. Put it in my office. So Scott Tolley says, yes, Jack will sign it. My girlfriend was flying down to watch me, or flying up, I guess, to watch me skydive. She brought the card with her, literally in a case, packed away, like make sure nothing happens to it. And then Scott let us in the players' locker room. And it's actually really cool because getting to share these moments with my mom and dad mean the world to me. Like one of my biggest motivators is making them proud. After all the bullshit I put them through with the drinking and everything, the fact that I'm able to make them proud is one of my favorite things in the world. But back on track with the story, he lets me, my girlfriend Gray, my mom and dad all go sit in the player locker room. And then Jack and Barbara walk in and sit at the table right next to us. And my dad and mom are like, what are we doing here, dude? Like, Minwoo's walking by, Ludwig's walking by, Shoffley, Scheffler, all these guys. And Scott goes up, he's like, hey, Jack, do you have time to sign? And he gives me like a hand wave. And I go over with a Jack Nicklaus rookie card. I'm like, hey, Mr. Nicklaus, if it's not a bother, I know you're busy. Could you please sign this? He's like, of course. Do you have a Sharpie? Whip out the Sharpie, open up the case, signs it. I take a picture with him. It's on my Instagram, holding the card. So in one day, I got to meet Jack Nicklaus. He signed, well, I guess I met him the day before, but Jack Nicklaus signs a rookie card. And then I skydive in with Navy SEALs onto 18 at the Memorial and present Jack and Barbara Nicklaus with the American flag. Dude, you want to talk about being American, being the greatest thing there is? It was fucking amazing. One of the greatest days of my life.
I love that, dude. What a story, man. And shout out to your parents, man. My parents, my wife are my biggest supporters, man.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
I love making my parents proud. I was definitely a bit of a troublemaker when I was younger. So, my parents sacrificed a lot for me to give me the life I live. And so they're my biggest fans, man. It's funny you said, because next week in about 8 days, we're going to be at the Desert Open, which last year I was a fan outside the ropes. This
And
year
now you're
I'm going to
part
be
of it.
doing a live show from the Desert Open, but my parents, my in-laws, my wife's parents, my wife, it's all going to be out there, man. I'm
Are they
probably going to get a
really?
little emotional then. Oh yeah, dude. And it's going to be awesome
Yeah,
having
dude, you
them there,
should.
showing me support. Like, it means the world to me seeing my parents happy. So I can relate very hard to that. And it's going to be like my parents, it's going to be very similar to you. It's like, what is like Marco's here doing this with all like good. Like, what do you like? I feel like I shouldn't be here. It's kind of one of those things for me. So
No, dude,
I
we
can,
love we love having you. So I love that you're bringing the family out and including them. It's important to share moments like that with the people that matter
oh
the
yeah,
most
dude.
to you. It really is.
Oh yeah, man. All right, let's talk a few more things, then we can wrap. I want to talk about you speed training, because you hit the ball a long way, but you
Yeah.
speed train with Bryson, dude. Are you still like speed training? And talk to me how cool that was doing that with Bryson.
Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously, Bryson's an awesome guy. Bryson literally took like 3.5, 4 hours out of his day to help me speed train when he's got to be one of the busiest dudes in the golf industry. And before I was actually doing content full time, I was trying to do long drive, and I was doing live events all around America, driving to it in my car, trying to make money. And yeah, I got up to like 200, 201 mile per hour ball speed. And then a few years goes by, then I speed trained with Bryson Martin, hit 200. And then the most recent one I did was with Jack Smith about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at the Good Warehouse. And it said I hit 213. I think it was a little juiced. I think I hit like 205, 206. So we'll say I hit 205, 206. I was super proud of it. And yeah, dude, I've had thoughts of trying to do long drive, but dude, these guys like Jack Smith, Colton, Martin, Kyle, they're just a different freak of nature level, dog. Like they hit the ball so far, and it's so much fun to be a fan of the sport. I absolutely love watching long drive and watching all that, but generally it was like another one of those moments where like I talked to Martin and Bryson that day, and it was one of those like those focus moments where it's like I was hitting balls, and I think it was 104, 105 degrees that day outside, sweating my ass off. And even like a couple people were like, yo, hey, take a break. We'll come back tomorrow, try and hit 200. I was like, fuck no. It's like hit 200 or die right now is the way my mind felt. I am not hitting 200 miles per hour today, and just kept on swinging, kept on swinging. My body got pretty damn tired at one point, and then just like with anything, if you don't quit and you just keep knocking on that wall, it's eventually going to fall. Consistency is the most important thing to succeeding at anything. I just kept on hitting balls, and finally I caught one center punch in the face like 4.5 hours into the speed session. I probably hit over 400 golf balls. And said 200. Me and Martin got stoked. Martin took off his pants and jumped in the pool. He had underwear on. But Martin jumped in the pool. We were stoked, and that's the thing too. Again, the way life just works out. The way life just works out. When you really have to dig deep and work for something, like doing a tire flip for a marathon, which I hope to do coming up here, feels good. Ain't nothing easy gonna feel too good, you know? That's probably going back to your question. One of the biggest reasons why I like doing hard stuff, dude. It just feels good to accomplish something hard. That's it. Like anybody could go do something easy, but when you do something difficult and you prove it to yourself, it just. I'm by no means David Goggins, but I'm a huge fan. Like I was saying, it just creates like a little callus on your mind of like, oh, you didn't quit. You finish it. This is who you are. So next time something gets difficult, you'll remember how much you're capable of. But yeah, fun shit. I like anything like that where you push yourself, push your body, and it's really just up to you whether you accomplish it or not.
Good motivational message, man. Let's talk a little bit about the Good PGA Tour event and how cool that is. Big. We can kind of wrap Big Break into this as well. Like, dude, that like for people who don't know, like I understand a lot of the pro golf stuff because I talk a lot about it too, and I watch a lot of the pro golf stuff along with
Mm-hmm.
the YouTube stuff. Like the fact that you guys did this, like it costs a lot of money for one, but the
Yeah.
fact seeing Good from a YouTube channel with the boys to now a PGA Tour event with a 3-year contract has got to
Mm-hmm.
feel incredible. So just talk to me a little bit about that, and then if you want to talk about Big Break, you can as well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when we had known in the making that it was probably about for over a year and a half, we had had meetings knowing that we were trying to bring a PGA Tour event to fruition. And honestly, have you had Matt Kendrick on the show before?
Yep. Yep.
You have, dude. Every bit of props for this goes to Matt Kendrick. He did so much work, so many meetings behind the scenes. He worked incredibly diligently to bring this to fruition. And when we finally got the final confirmation that it was real, like put pen to paper, sign that dotted line, we were like, damn. Like 5 years ago, this wasn't even an idea to us of something that was attainable. This was just like we're going with the flow, trusting the process. And then we found out about this. And it was one of those moments where you kind of take a step back and you like look at the last 5.5 years, and dude, you just feel grateful and you feel proud. It's like, yeah, we worked and we worked and it just kept on going and chugging along, and now it's turned into this and it's blossomed into this. And having the right leadership at the head of the company, we've been able to bring this to fruition. And yeah, dude, it still don't make a whole lot of sense. I don't think it'll make a lot of sense until that Sunday when that final putt drops, and then Monday morning you kind of look back and you're like, we just hosted the first ever Good Championship PGA Tour event here in Austin, Texas, at Omni Barton Creek with some of the best players in the world. And yeah, we are taking it incredibly serious. Like it is a privilege that the PGA Tour trusts us with one of their events, and we are super excited, and we're working very hard to make sure we put on a phenomenal event. Like we want to put on an event that has phenomenal accommodations for all the players. We want all the players to be accommodated greatly. And then we also want to make it super fan centric as well. We want it to be great for the fans too. And I'm excited to see what we come up with. I think it's going to be a beautiful event. It's going to be a great event. I just got an email today that we are doing Folds of Honor Friday at our PGA Tour event. Meaning we'll raise the flag and we'll sing the national anthem. And don't know if I'm going to skydive in again. I've done skydiving twice. A third time, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm incredibly excited and more so just very grateful that the PGA Tour entrusted us with spearheading a PGA Tour event. Doesn't make sense, dog. That's all I got to say. Just very grateful for the
It's
opportunity.
crazy, man. It's funny because like obviously you guys get a lot of not a lot. You guys have haters because of how big you are, and like all these people have opinions about it. Blah blah blah. You know, you guys got ripped on for the crew neck. People can hate YouTube golf, but if the top leaders in the game, i.e.,
Yeah.
the PGA Tour is getting involved with you guys, we've seen Live do the Live duels. Obviously, the major cut, you know, the Masters, USGA is getting involved with you guys as well, and Grant and the major like the top levels of organizations believe in YouTube golf. I think you guys are doing something right, and I think people YouTube golf is here to stay. If you know, so
Yeah.
the haters
Yeah.
just whatever, man. The Good Championship. I'm so excited in Austin, November. I can't remember the dates, but I will be there. You know, I'll be there regardless because you know I'm sure that hopefully by then some stuff will have happened. But regardless, I'm very much looking forward to it, man. All right, last question. I'm gonna wrap up with this.
Yeah.
You'll love this one. It is the Chicago Bears, man, just the season wrapped. Talk to me through, because I know you're a big Bears fan, and this sucks because I'm a Lions fan, obviously, as you know. But how cool is it kind of going through that, man? And just talk to me a little bit about what you like to do, or just hobbies off the course as well.
Oh, well, going off the Chicago Bears, we got our guy, Caleb Williams. He's him. Dude, 28 years of being a Bears fan. That is the greatest season I've ever seen. We beat the Packers twice in a month. We beat the Packers twice in a month when the win probability of the Packers, both times, was over 98%. Like, oh, dude, it feels good to finally stick it to him. Aaron Rodgers saying, I own you, and doing the belt shit at Soldier Field, dog. When just just knowing the Packers fans had to feel probably 10 times in that 1 month, those two games, what I felt as a Bears fan playing them. Oh, phenomenal, phenomenal. I love the Packers though. I think Jordan Love's a great quarterback. They got great weapons on their team, but I mean it's Chicago Green Bay. It doesn't get any better than that. Some of the greatest sporting watches I've ever had were those two games. And yeah, dude, Caleb's him, Komet, dog, Loveland, amazing. We have a team, but Nungai too. Dude, second half of the season, just phenomenal to watch. But we got weapons, we got our guy. And I think if we add Crosby and make that pass rush a little stronger, we're going to be a dangerous team, dude. I'm really excited for 2026 Bears. I know you're a Lions fan. I love Dan Campbell. I love Jared Goff. You guys have a team over there. But I don't know. I'm really hoping the Bears run the NFC North for a while. And I know you don't want that, but I hope that's where it's going. But honestly, hobbies outside of YouTube, like I said, I film a video and then I just kind of go about my life. I like just being present. I like spending time with my girlfriend. I like being with my dog. I like seeing my mom and dad. That's the biggest reason I moved to Florida. I'm going to get to see my parents a lot more. They spend a bunch of time down here in Florida. And genuinely just trying to be family centric, just putting everything that's important at the center of everything. And genuinely, like when we're down here, we're lucky enough to have a boat parked about 10 minutes north. We'll go out on the boat, take Sunny. There's a bunch of little islands all up the channel, and we'll just park the nose of the boat up there, hop off, have a day on the island. I'll go fish a good amount and go for a golf cart ride. Like genuinely, like I was saying about my favorite moments in Good, just the simple stuff. Like you can try and make everything elaborate and do this and nice that, but dude, the simple things are where you're going to find the most joy. And I'm very blessed and lucky to have been able to learn that in my 20s and not waste away a lot of time with shit that doesn't matter. Yeah, dude, I couldn't trade a day out on the boat with my girlfriend and my dog. There's not much stuff I'd rather do. I can go fish. She can read a book. Sonny's there, who's our dog. Like, yeah, it's the most joyous things in the world to me. And then my parents come down to visit. We grab some food, take them out on the boat. I wouldn't trade that for anything. Yeah, I just couldn't. Just a simple shit, dude. That's it. And that's about all I like doing.
Speaking of, you got your guy, you stole our guy, Ben Johnson, which next year we'll
I
have to do
love him.
something.
Love
We'll have
him.
to do something for the Lions Bears. We have to do a bet. Speaking of, whenever Sean comes on, I'm supposed to wear Packers stuff because the Packers beat the
Don't
Lions.
do it.
I have
Don't
to.
do it.
I lost the bet, dude. I have to. I'm a man of my word. I said I'd do it. I have to do it. Not thrilled about
Okay.
it, but you got to do it, man. So we'll do something next year. Bears Lions. Cool, man. Well, thank you, Bubby. First of all,
Yes, sir.
this was probably one of my best interviews. One that I've
Thank
very
you.
much enjoyed. Thank you so much for your time today. If you guys have made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much, man. Any final sign-off messages before I let you go? And then we will give you back, man. I appreciate the time tonight.
No final sign-off messages. I appreciate you for your time. I'm very grateful to have hopped on here and been able to share my story. And I'm hoping maybe it reaches at least one person watching this video who it's able to help. God is great, and I hope you have a blessed night. And that's about it, brother. I'm excited to see you there in Arizona. And again, hey, we'll have a blessed night there too. It's going to be a phenomenal event, and I'm excited to meet a lot of the fans there, meet a lot of the people, and get to talk to them. And yeah, dude, that's my favorite thing. I love meeting them. Like the PGA show, so much fun. Love meeting everybody, and yeah, dude, this life's very blessed, and I couldn't be more grateful for it. And it's all because of God. It's all because of the man upstairs. And yeah, I can't thank him enough. That's about it.
Cool, man. Well, guys, that's Bubbie Golf. Bubby, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.